Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Please mute yourself. Okay. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So today we're going to start the first chapter of biology of grade 6, which is cells. Right? Okay. Now, what is a cell? First of all, what is a cell? Did you guys read? I posted the PDF of the pages. Did you guys read? Who wants to answer this question? What is a cell? What do you understand? What do you already know about a cell? You can hear me, right? Okay. Okay, Momina. What is a cell? Yes, Momina? Sit down. Okay. Yes, Momina? Yes? Okay, Muhammad Hamza. Yes, Muhammad Hamza?
Yes, a
Yes.
cell are tiny building blocks that make up all living things.
Okay, so you read from the book. Yeah, but it's
Yes.
fine. Okay, good. No, it's okay. Yeah, so cells are the basic. Okay, Sidra also wants to say something. She wants to define cell.
Cell is the building block of life which makes up all living things.
Right, good job. Yes, it's the basic unit of life. Just like, you know, in a house, we have different rooms. So think of cell as sort of a room, right? Now, each room has a different function, you know, like we have Ali Farooq Khan, please turn off your videos. If I see anybody, anybody's videos on unnecessarily again and again, I will remove that participant, okay? Only my screen and that other screen, iBukhari name, only these two screens will be on. No other screen would be on, okay? So just like different rooms have different functions, such as bedroom is for sleeping, dining room is for eating, drawing room is for your guests, and you know, so on and so forth. So different rooms have different functions. In the same way, similarly, cells are like rooms, and cells have different functions, okay? Like for example, we are the whole, I mean, we are whole one organism, right? And we have different groups of cells, okay? So everything is made up of cells. Every living thing is made up of cells. So cell is the basic unit of life. If anything has life, it is made up of cells. Now we can have organisms ranging from single cell, something that is made up of single cells, such as this bacterium. This is whole thing is just a single cell. And then we have insects, which are made up of millions and millions of cells, and then mice, which are made up of billions of cells, and so on and so forth. So as the complexity increases, the number of cells increases, and not only the number of cells increases, the complexity of the cells increases. And we have different types of cells. The types of cells also increases as the complexity of the organism increases, right? So yeah, now non-living things also have their basic units, but those basic units are not cells. Yes, yes. So for example, this house is a non-living thing, and its basic unit is a brick. Brick is made up of, you know, soil, sand, you know, modified soil and sand, but that's not living, right? So cell is a basic unit of a living organism, okay? Living organisms vary in sizes, ranges, complexity, and so the type of cell also varies, right? Now, within the same organism, as I just mentioned, within the same organism, now you can enlarge your screen. If you want to zoom in to what I'm showing you, I would suggest you enlarge the screen if you want to have better visibility, okay? Within the same organism, there are different types of cells. For instance, in our body, we have different groups of cells, such as blood, such as bones, skin, muscles, right? Now I'm gonna share my screen, and This will stop others screen sharing. Do you want to continue? Okay. Okay, let me use the other account. Okay. So, wait. Yeah, but I want to show them this. Okay, can you look at this? Let me see. Yes, I can see. Yeah. Okay, so I want to show you this. Keep your eyes on the two screens that I'm showing. Keep your eyes on the two screens that I'm showing. You'll have to shift from one screen to the other. Oh, it's not showing? No, it's look. It's showing like this. Oh. Okay. Mama, the shadow of the phone is shown. I can turn off this thing. No. You have to show it this way. Look, this why isn't it opening? Yeah, this is not opening. Is the Wi-Fi connected to iPod? Yeah, I'm sorry about this. Kiran Wajahat, please turn off your video. Okay. Now, I want to show you different tissues and what different tissues. Tissues mean groups of cells. So our body is made up of different types of cells. So I want to give you a rough idea. I know you're doing this for the first time, so you might not understand everything, but I just want to give you a little idea about how many different types of cells our body is made up of. So such as, look at this. I don't know if you can see this clearly. You can enlarge your screen. Like, this is how the cells of the bone look like. Okay, this is how the cartilage cells look like. Let me. Okay, this is how the skin cells look like. This is how the fat cells look like. Okay, you don't have to remember all of this. And then these are the cardiac cells. Okay, and then this is the nervous tissue. So these are the different groups of cells found in our body, right? Okay, now let's move on. Okay, now I will. Okay, just leave it. Leave it. I cannot do this. I cannot do this. Okay, I'm sorry about this. I'm trying to show you something, but I think it's not working. Oh, okay, it is working. Okay, so I want you to look at this a simple cell that I have drawn the other screen. Okay, now this, yes, this simple cell. Now, this is like a room, as I just explained to you, and this cell membrane is like the wall of that room. Okay, now what is the job of a wall? To separate that space from the rest of the house, right? So similarly, the job of this cell membrane, is to separate the inside of the cell from the outside of the cell. That's the main job of the cell membrane, to separate the inside of the cell from the outside of the cell. Okay, then these are the three basic structures of the cell: nucleus, cytoplasm, and then cell membrane. Remember this: nucleus, cytoplasm, and cell membrane are the three basic structures of a cell. Okay, so cell membrane's function is to like wall out this space, to separate the inside of the cell from the outside, and to control what goes in and what comes out of the cell. What is the job of the nucleus? Nucleus is the control center. It controls all the activities inside the cell. Nucleus is the control center. It decides what happens within the cell. It decides what the cell will look like, what it will do, and everything about it. Okay. Now, cytoplasm is a gel-like substance within which processes which are vital for life take place. Processes which are vital for life take place within this cytoplasm. So remember these three things. All the cells, irrespective of whether they are animal cell or plant cell or whatever the type of cell, all cells are going to have the three structures: nucleus, cell membrane, cytoplasm. Okay, remember this. And I will ask you the functions of these three. Nucleus, again, I'm repeating, because this is very important. Okay, nucleus is the control center. It will control everything about the cell: its function, its appearance, its size, everything about it. Cell membrane is like the wall. It will separate the inside from the outside, and it will control what gets in and what exits the cell. Cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance, and it has all those processes going on within the cytoplasm which are vital for life. Okay, now before we go into the depth, one thing that I want to mention is that no structure in nature is without a purpose. Every structure has a purpose, and the structure is related to its function. Okay, a particular thing has a particular shape because it has to perform a particular function. So whatever structure we come across, we have to ask ourselves, why does it look like this? And how does this help in its function? How does its structure help it to perform this particular function? So it's important for you to know the function of each structure. What is this made? I mean, why did Allah make it this way? Okay, Allah made it this way. There must be some purpose. So we try to understand. Okay, what are organelles? I want to introduce this new term to you guys. What are organelles? Simple organelles are tiny structures within the cell. They are tiny organized structures within a cell that have specific functions. They're organized structures within a cell that have their own functions. Now, at this level, this is your pre-IGCSE level, as they say. I will not go into the details of many organelles. Shaima, I can see your video on. Video should be off. Okay. Where was I? So yeah, so we will not do a lot of organelles. We will only do these three basic structures which are found in all the cells, whether animal or plant. What are those three structures? Cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm. Okay. The other two organelles that I will talk about just a little bit, I'll introduce them to you, are chloroplast and mitochondria. And that will be about it at this level. Okay. So this is an animal cell. Where's my screen? हाँ यार ये is the fun because of this. Yeah, let me just. I'm recording. I can share the recording. It's okay. Just if you cannot see my screen, refer the diagram in your book. I also shared the PDF in the group, so you can open that. Yes, I understand that my screen is not clear today. I'm trying to show you slides, so there's a little disturbance today because I'm trying to use two screens at the same time. I have never done this before. So yeah, because of this, I'm facing some disturbance. So sorry about that. Inshallah, with experience and practice, I will get good at this. Yeah, I'm using the same diagram as is in your book. Okay. So it's no big deal. You can refer to the diagram on page 6. Okay, I even shared in the group. Okay, so this is an animal cell. Okay, now once you know what an animal cell looks like, let's talk about the plant cell. Let's talk about the plant cell. What are the basic parts of a plant cell? Now, those three parts that I just mentioned that are found in animal cell are also found in the plant cell. Same thing, nucleus, cell membrane, cytoplasm, right? Three basic structures. They're found in both animal cell as well as plant cell. But plant cell has these three additional organelles or structures, whatever you want to call them, these three. Remember them. Plant cells have these 3 additional structures or organelles. Let's start from outside, right? Outside. This is cell wall. Now I did not label the structures which I had already talked about in the animal cells, which are nucleus, cell membrane, cytoplasm. Plant cells also have nucleus. Nucleus is here. Cell membrane. Cell membrane is pasted just right next to the cell wall on the inner side of the cell wall. Okay. I'm highlighting it with my red marker. You can call this a cell membrane, which is absolutely pasted onto the inner surface of the cell wall, so much so that there is no space, absolutely no space between the cell membrane and the cell wall, and you cannot even see it. And in diagrams, you just make, like the inner outline on the cell wall. You will not leave any space between cell membrane and cell wall. If you leave a space, that would be wrong, because the cell membrane is absolutely attached. And in the next class, I'll show you how it's attached. I'll show you. Have you seen that transparent, very thin membrane which is attached on the seed of a date? That very fragile, thin. Yeah, bring an onion and I'll show them. Yeah, so no, onion. Okay. You can think of it as, like that transparent membrane that you see on the date of a seed. I don't know if you have ever done that. If you have eaten date, if you have eaten a date and you and then you must have observed that there is this transparent membrane which is enveloping the seed. Okay. So if you can, otherwise it's okay. This is a cell membrane attached to the inner side of the cell wall. We cannot differentiate. Okay, there's absolutely no space between the cell membrane and the cell wall. Okay, so what is the purpose of cell wall? Why do plant cells have cell wall, and why don't the animal cells have cell wall? Why don't the animal cells have cell wall? Okay. Can anybody guess why plants have cell wall, and what is the function of cell wall? And why don't the animal cells need this cell wall? Yeah, speak loudly. Yes, Sidra is trying to answer.
A cell wall gives like the shape to the cell.
Okay, and what does that shape do?
It protects the plant from any damage.
Yeah, come on. Yes.
It keeps the plant upright.
Okay. I'll give you a chance. Okay, Haya Amir, you want to say something? Yes, Haya. Haya, I'm trying to unmute you. Okay, Shaima.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Shaima, you answer. Yes, Shaima.
Miss, I can't see your screen.
Okay. Okay, Maheen. Yes, Maheen. Oh, sorry. Yes, Maheen.
Miss, it is. Miss, can you hear?
Okay, I think I'll just answer it myself because we don't have that much time. Okay, the reason why plant cells have cell wall is because plants do not have a skeleton. Plants do not have bones like us. Like we have a skeleton and we have bones. So that skeleton keeps us upright, right? Now, plants do not have that skeleton, those bones to keep them upright. So how do they stay upright? They make use, so Allah has given them this outer sort of the skeleton, you can call it, like it performs the same function as a skeleton, which is to give them support and to keep them upright. And an upright position for plants is very important. Why is upright position important for plants? Yes, very good. Any guesses? You can use the chat window to answer me. It's an extra barrier. Animal cells don't need cell wall because they already have bones to, yes, good job, Ariha, good thinking. They already have bones to support themselves and to keep them upright, right? To get sunlight, yes, Momina, good job. Yes, to get sunlight, yes. So that they can get sunlight, and so that sunlight is important for their photosynthesis, right? Haya, you can type in your question in the chat window. Type in your question in the chat window. Okay, so so that's why they have the cell wall, and the cell wall is made up of a material called cellulose. And this is, the purpose is strength, the purpose is support, the purpose is structure, the purpose is shape. You know, like, why do we have shape? Just imagine if we didn't have a skeleton, I mean, we wouldn't have the shape that we have. Okay, the shape comes from the bones within, right? I mean, it contributes towards the shape of the whole body. Animals' shape depends upon their bones. So their shape will depend upon this cell wall, which is made up of cellulose. Now, what is cellulose? Cellulose is a material with which the cell wall is made up of. What is it? The wood. What is wood? Why is wood so hard? You know, wood is so hard and strong that we make furniture out of it. We make buildings out of it. We make houses out of it. Why? Wood is hard because of cellulose. It is the cellulose that gives the hardness to the wood. Wood is nothing, it's cellulose. The cell inside dies away and you have lots and lots of layers of cellulose, you know, like a thick layer of cellulose. And so all you have is cellulose with the cells dead inside. So that's what a wooden table is made up of. Your wooden table is cellulose, right? Yes. So, so we have talked about the cell wall. Now let's move on to the vacuole. Let's talk about the vacuole. Now, vacuole is another specialized structure that the plant cells have. Well, animal cells also have vacuoles. I only discussed the basic structures, remember? I did not go into the details. But vacuoles in animal cells are not as important as they are in plant cells. And they are small and they are scattered, the vacuoles of the animal cells. Whereas in plants, the vacuole, there is one central vacuole. There is single central vacuole, and it's really inflated, really inflated. Okay, again, the function is support. The function is support. This also performs the same function as the skeleton, that is to give shape to the cell. So this also contributes to the shape of the cell. And that is why when you have watered the plants, extra water is stored within this vacuole, and you see that the leaves are healthy and they are you know, fresh and they are turgid. The term we use it, turgid, you know, healthy turgid cells, leaves. Why? Because their vacuoles are full. So it's just like inflated balloons, just like inflated balloons. So if you do not water the plants, this vacuole loses water. And so it's like deflated balloon. So you see a withered appearance, the murjhaye way, you know, the leaves are withered. So vacuole also has that support function, same as the cell wall. So this function is common between cell wall and vacuole. But it has an additional function, which is a storage. It stores extra water. It stores extra nutrients, minerals, and even carbohydrates, right? So yeah, so, and it also separates harmful substances from the rest of the cell if it has to. Okay, and then there's a big list of functions of vacuole if you want to go into details, but we won't. So keep yourself to storage and support, right? What did you say in the chat window? I mean, cellulose, I don't get it. Now, you don't have to get into the details of cellulose. Cellulose is just a material with which cell wall is made up of. Okay, we will get into the details of cellulose, but not in this chapter. Yes, animal cells do have vacuoles, but they do not perform the same function. They are small and they are scattered. Right, yes, Romesa, vacuoles temporarily store for the cells, including the main thing that they store is water, right? And they also store other things such as, yes, Javeria, you are right, sugars and salts and nutrients and minerals. Yes. And this whole solution is called a cell sap. Yes, Abdul Hamid, you are right. Oh, you're asking what is a cell sap. So yeah, the whole solution that is formed due to the storage of water and sugar and all of these nutrients and minerals, the whole solution together is called a cell sap. I don't understand cell sap. Cell sap is no big deal. It's just the solution that ends up being stored in the vacuole. The whole solution is called a cell sap. Do you understand, Sidra? No? Type of. Okay. So it's a solution of mineral salts, nutrients, and sugar within in water. Yeah. So that together, all these things make cell sap, which is stored in the vacuole. Okay. Okay. Yes, Shaima. Okay, sure. Yeah, I can share the work. This is not a copy work. These are just my notes. Okay, you don't have to copy them, please. You can just use them for your reference, and that's all. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to chloroplast. Okay, let's move on to chloroplast. Now, chloroplast is an organelle which is only found in plant cells. So I am talking about those structures which are only found in plant cells. Okay, the ones that are found in both, I talked about them already. So these are those structures which are only found in plant cells. So let's talk about chloroplast. Chloroplast is an organelle which is responsible for the green color of the plants. Okay, green color of the plants. Why? Because they contain a green pigment called chlorophyll. And what is the function of chlorophyll? The function of chlorophyll is to trap sunlight. Now, why is trapping sunlight important? Right. Used for? Right. Okay. Begum, Atif? Yes. Why is sunlight important? Okay.
Sorry, ma'am. I didn't know that my hand was raised.
Please do not raise your hand if you don't want to answer, okay? I have only 1 hour to finish everything. Yes, Anas?
Because it helps.
Please lower your hand. Please lower your hand. If you don't want to answer, lower your hand. Yes, Anas?
Because it helps plant to make food and helps in photosynthesis.
Very good. Good job. Yes, Anas. Sunlight is important because it is required for photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process which needs energy for it to take place. And so if sunlight is not available, photosynthesis cannot take place. Okay. Now, these three structures are not found in the animal cells, only in plant cells. Now, refer to the differences between plant and animal cells on page 7 in your book. Okay. The three differences that they have mentioned are the same as I just talked about. Let me share my screen with you. I'm sharing my screen. I'm sharing my screen, and yes, this. Okay. Okay, this table, difference between plant cells and animal cells. Right, so let's go through them one by one. Plant cells have tough cellulose cell walls. We have already done that. Animal cells don't have it. We have already done that. Plant cells have chloroplasts. Animal cells do not have chloroplasts. Okay. Plant cells have a large permanent vacuole containing cell sap. Animal cells have a small vacuoles, but they don't contain cell sap. Okay, so we have dealt with these three. So talk about the three structures that I have just told you that they are only found in plant cells, not in animal cells. So these will be your three differences. You can constitute them as your three differences between animal and plant cells. Now the rest of the 2 points, many have a box-like shape. Now this box-like shape, it's just another way of saying that plant cells have regular shape. Faizan Gilani, please turn off your video. So plant cells have regular shape. Why? Because this regular shape has come due to the tough cellulose cell wall. This tough cellulose cell wall is responsible for the regular shape. Now, what do I mean by regular shape? It can be rectangular, it can be cuboid, it can be hexagonal, okay? So, but it is regular. Okay, I'll show you a few slides. I'll show you a few pictures of the plant cells and you'll appreciate. Whereas animal cells, since they do not have cell wall, the shape is irregular, okay, because they only have cell membrane. So we don't have cell wall, and therefore that is why we don't have any edges like the non-living things have edges. Okay, then nucleus to the side of the cell. Plant cells have a nucleus to the side of the cell. Why? Because they have a central vacuole. Now you cannot have two structures at the center at the same time. So because vacuole is so much bigger, it takes the most of the space available, and nucleus is pushed to one side. You can see that the nucleus is pushed to one side. Yeah, it doesn't have to do with being important. It has to do with which organelle is taking up more space. So yes, nucleus is more important, but it can perform its job even while it is at the side. Yes, nucleus has the same function in the plant cell as an animal cell, which is to control the activities and to control the appearance of the cell. Now, in animal cells, because animal cells do not have a permanent vacuole, therefore the nucleus takes the central position. So I hope now you can give me at least 5 differences between plant cells and animal cells. Can't you? You should be able to give me 5 differences between animal and plant cells, right? Now, let's move on. And now let me share a few more pictures with you. Let me show you a few pictures of cells. This is a cheek cell. This is a human cheek cell. Okay, and in the later pages, on page 9 of your book, they are looking at animal cells and they're making a slide of the human cheek cells. So now don't think that these cheek cells actually appear blue. This is a staining. This is a special staining that they have used to improve their visibility, right? These cells are not blue in color. But can you appreciate the cell membrane? Can you appreciate the cell membrane here? Now look at my other screen. If you can see the cursor, can you see the cursor? Share screen. No, I am sharing my screen. Okay, this. Oh,
Stop the other.
no, but
Stop. Stop.
oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this.
Please share.
No, just leave it. I'll just share here. Now, can you appreciate the cell membrane and the nucleus within it? Yes, the cell membrane is the outer boundary. Okay, the central darker region is the nucleus, and the space between the boundary and the central darker region is the cytoplasm. And you can see small dots within the cytoplasm, right? These are granules. We will not go into the details of these granules at this moment. We will deal with them later on. But yes, mitochondria is one of them. One of the types of structures which are found in these granules is mitochondrion, and we will talk about it in a bit. But let me first show you. Now, this is a closer picture of a human cheek cell. You know, like they have scraped the inside of the cheek and they have made a slide out of it, and they're using a blue stain. And you can see that the nucleus is darkly stained compared to the cytoplasm, right? The outermost boundary is the cell membrane, and you can see that the cell membrane is very thin. I mean, you cannot distinguish it. I mean, it's not a structure that you can especially, see, but you can just see the boundary, you can just appreciate the boundary, and that is the cell membrane. Now, you can appreciate that this cell is an animal cell by just looking at it. You can say that it's an animal cell. Why? Because it is irregularly shaped. There is no regular shape, right? There is no central vacuole. So you know for sure that this is not a plant cell. And by the way, in exams, they do give you pictures and they ask you which one is an animal cell and which one is a plant cell. So because it is irregular, because it does not have a cell wall, it does not have a central vacuole, but the nucleus is at the center, you know this is an animal cell, right? Also, another thing, under a light microscope, I'll talk about the microscopes in detail in the next biology class, but right now I just want to mention that under light microscope, you can only see these three basic structures. That's it. You cannot see anything else under light microscope, except for green staining of chloroplasts. Yes, that also you might be able to see under the light microscope. But other than that, you cannot see any other structure. Under light microscope, you can only appreciate the cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, that's it. These three basic structures. Okay, so these are the 4 cheek cells. Okay, these are how muscle cells look like. So can you see the long shape, but there is no cell wall. Well, by the way, you can say that this nucleus, now these darker stained structures are nuclei. They are nuclei. Nuclei is the plural of nucleus. Okay, but this is a specialized type of cell, and so the nucleus is shifted to the side. It is not central. But do you think it's a plant cell? No. Why? Because there is no cell wall. There is no central vacuole. But yes, you might say the shape is looking rectangular, right? And you can say that the nucleus is towards the side, but no, because you cannot see a cell wall. And when we will do different cells in detail, you will be able to recognize the different types of cells. So this is a skeletal muscle cell. Okay, this is a muscle cell. Okay. Are there any other pictures that I want to show you? Yes, I want to show you this. Can you see, can you appreciate the rectangular shape? Yes. Can you see the thick boundary? Thick, shiny boundary? That's the cell wall. That's the cell wall. And you cannot see cell membrane because it's stuck on the inner side of the cell wall. And can you appreciate these green structures? Yes, these are chloroplasts within the cytoplasm. These are chloroplasts within the cytoplasm. And you can also see this nucleus, you know, this white thing. Yeah, with the help of, what did you do? Leave it. Okay, so these are chloroplasts, okay, in the cytoplasm. Okay, now let me share. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this with me. What is structure 3? In this picture, what is a structure 3? Who's gonna answer? What is a structure 3? Okay, Muhammad on Ali. Yes. Yes. Okay, use the chat window because it takes too long for to mute and unmute you. Can you please use the yes? Structure 3 is cell membrane. Yes. Cell. No, Muhammad Akif, it is not a cell wall. No. Can you see the shape of the cell? A cell wall will be thicker. Cell wall would be thicker, and you would see a central vacuole as well. You would also see chloroplast if it was a plant cell, right? This is not a plant cell. This is not a plant cell. This is an animal cell. So you cannot see cell wall here. Okay. Now tell me, what is structure 1? Yes. Right. What is structure 1?
Cytoplasm.
Yes, Momina. Cytoplasm, Vania, very good. Urva, no, it's not yes, cytoplasm. Okay, now let's move on. What is structure 2? What is structure 2? What is structure 2? Very good, Muhammad Akif. Good job. Yes. Wajiha, Ariha, Kashif, Furqan, Azhar. Good job. Okay, let's, what is structure 4? Yeah, it is some organelle. What organelle can it be? Organelles, yes, it can be mitochondria, right? So we have done mitochondria. So yeah, ribosomes also, Ariha, but we will do mitochondrion only today. Okay, okay, yes, Zores. Okay, now let me talk about mitochondrion a little bit. What is a mitochondrion? Now, mitochondrion is an organelle. I'm still sharing my screen, right? So I will show you the mitochondrion picture. How do the mitochondrion look like? Yes. This is a detailed picture of mitochondrion. You know, this is how they look like. Okay, they have double coverings, and the inner covering is thrown into folds inside. Okay, this is how a mitochondrion looks like. I mean, this is a diagram. And then this is a micrograph. Now, what is a micrograph? Just like you have a photograph, you have a micrograph. Yes, yes, the picture that you get under a microscope, that's called a micrograph. The picture that you get under a microscope, that's called a micrograph. So this, and I just told you that under light microscope, you can only see the 3 basic structures, which are cell membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm. Good job, Sidra. And few chloroplasts, just like I showed you. Like this is a light microscope, but you can appreciate the chloroplast, right? And because of their dark green color, they're easily visible. But mitochondrion, they're real small. So they will only be stained pinkish, but we cannot differentiate them from other organelles, which might also be present in the cytoplasm. So it's really difficult to differentiate mitochondrion from other organelles under a light microscope. So we need a stronger microscope, such as electron microscope, to be able to see mitochondria. Okay, we need electron microscope. So if you want to get inside the cell, if you want to see in detail inside the cell, then you will have to use electron microscope. So all this information regarding mitochondrion, the structure of mitochondrion inside, is through electron microscope, right? Now, cells are so small that they are not visible under naked eye. So you can imagine how small a cell is, you know, not more than a micrometer. Yeah, not more than a micrometer. And remember, we did in our physics class, and then our last physics class, how many micrometers was equal to 1 meter? Does anybody remember? Yes. How many micrometers was equal to 1 meter from our last physics class? Who remembers? 10 to the power minus 6. Yeah, okay. Yeah, 10 to the power 6. Yes, Abdul Hamid. 10 to the power 6 micrometers is equal to 1 meter. Naked eye meaning without using any instrument, without any glasses, without any, yeah, any apparatus or any instrument, only with your eyes, bare eyes. Okay. Okay. So now let me. Okay. So what is the function of mitochondrion? We have talked about its structure. We have talked about its appearance. What is the function? It's like the powerhouse of the cell. So yeah, the energy which is obtained from the food. Yes, the energy which is obtained from the food, that process is called respiration, and respiration takes place within the mitochondrion. Yes, good job, Wajiha. Shaima, please, your video should be off. Cellular respiration takes place within the mitochondrion. What is respiration? Who will define respiration? Respiration, please use the chat window. Use the chat window. What is respiration? Aslan, don't follow the labelings in the photographs. Okay, just pay attention to the terms that I am explaining you. No biologist, it's not breathing. Remember in the last class, I differentiated between respiration, breathing, and gaseous exchange. Okay. Oh no, that was grade 9. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was grade 9. No, process of breathing is breathing. Respiration is the breakdown of glucose. The burning of glucose and oxygen. Burning of glucose and oxygen to release energy, carbon dioxide, and water. That is respiration, and that process takes place within the mitochondrion. So I'm repeating myself. If you want to write it down somewhere, write it down, but it's there in the books. Respiration is the burning of glucose and oxygen to give you energy, carbon dioxide, and water, and this process takes place within the mitochondrion, right? Right. Yes, I teach grade 9. Yes. Okay, so mitochondrion are present in both plants and animals. Okay, because both of them need to respire, right? So that makes sense. Now let's move on to chloroplast. Chloroplast, we have already appreciated that they are only found in plant cells, right? But what is their function? Trapping sunlight with the help of the green pigment chlorophyll. Now, I'm not reading from any book. I'm not reading from any book, okay? So let me share the picture of chloroplast with you. Let me show you what a chloroplast looks like. This is a chloroplast. Okay, this is a detailed structure. Now, scientists figured all of this with the help of electron microscope. So this is not an electron micrograph. This is just a diagram. Okay, so you can see this is structure inside the chloroplast. You don't have to go into the details. You don't have to. I'm just showing you. Okay, just enjoy the pictures. Okay, you don't have to worry about labeling, learning them. No. Just appreciate. Okay, just know what you have to learn is that they are organelles found in the cytoplasm of plant cells, and their job is to trap sunlight, which they do with the help of a green pigment, which is called chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is what gives plants their green color. Okay, and this chlorophyll traps sunlight for photosynthesis. So without chloroplast, without chlorophyll, there will be no photosynthesis. Okay, that is important for you to know. So, okay, I have done all of this. I've shown you all of these pictures. Okay, good job. Now let's move on to a few questions. Okay, let's move on to a few questions. Let's do tell the 5 differences between plants that we have already done. Let's move on to questions on page 15. Oh, we did not do magnification. Yes, I want to explain you how to calculate magnification. On this page on page 6 of your book, I'm in, yes, this on page 6. They're talking about magnification. They have shown these human cheek cells, and they are magnified 500 times. They're magnified 500 times. Now, they usually give this question to calculate magnification. I want to talk about magnification a little bit. Okay. Now, do you want to explain? Okay, Sundus will explain magnification. It's okay. Just copy it here.
So because cells are too small to see, because cells are too small to see, so we cannot see them with the naked eye. That's why we need a microscope to see it. So let's suppose that we have something the size of 1 millimeter,
No.
that we want to magnify?
Now, we have taken this unit for ease of calculation because you're doing this for the first time. So we are taking very easy numbers so that you understand the idea behind calculation. Once you understand the idea, then you can deal with complicated numbers. So let's suppose this is the actual size. I mean, of course, the actual size is not even visible to the naked eye. So this is just for explanation purpose. So for example, this is the actual size of the cell, and let's say it's 1 millimeter. Let's just say, okay, just for the explanation purpose. And then then the diagram or the magnified image. Yes. And let's suppose this is 6 centimeters or 60 millimeters. Okay. So let's suppose this is the actual. Let's suppose this is the actual size in reality, I mean in real. This is the real size, actual or the real size, and this is the magnified size. Magnified meaning the size on your paper, the size that you make on the paper, or the size which you see under a microscope. You see, what you see under a microscope is not the real size. The pictures that I just showed you, those were not the real size of a cell. The real cell is not even visible, right? So these cells are magnified. The pictures that I showed you were magnified. So this is the magnified picture. This is the magnified image, and this is the real cell. This is the real cell, and this is a magnified cell, okay? Now, so we will assume that the real cell is 1 millimeter only in diameter, and the magnified cell is 60 millimeters in diameter, okay?
So to figure out the magnification, we need to know how many times this was enlarged to give us the magnified size that we can see. So the magnification,
Yeah, actual size. See, so what we are trying to find is that how many times did you multiply the actual size? How many times did you multiply? We don't know, right? So I'm putting a box. How many times did I multiply the actual size to get the magnified size? How many times did I multiply the actual size to get the magnified size, right? So this will be my magnification. This will be my magnification, right? Now go on.
so the actual size we know was 1 millimeter, and we don't know what the magnification was.
So we will give it a variable m, okay?
And the magnified size was 60 millimeter.
Right.
So when we solve the equation,
Cancel the units, please. Millimeters, millimeters.
So
1 millimeter and 60 millimeters. So millimeters and millimeters get cancelled.
That's why the magnification would be 60 with no unit.
So magnification is a ratio. It is a ratio of the magnified size and the actual size. So therefore, magnification does not have any units because it is a ratio, okay? So magnification is the ratio. So you can say that magnification is the ratio between the magnified size divided by the actual size. Did you understand? You did not understand. Sidra did not understand. Divided by the actual size. Okay, if you did not understand, I will explain it in the next class, okay? Because we are out of time now. Okay. You did not understand? Okay. Okay, we'll do this again. We'll do this again. Teacher, is everything other than 3 main structures of cells are organelles? See, even those 3 structures are organelles. No, not other than, those were also organelles. Organelles are any structures which are found within the cell, and they have a specialized function. Yes, yes, the magnification of electron microscope is much more. Yes, it is 500,000 times, yeah. Yes, Abdul Ahad, use the chat window to ask your question. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. If you did not understand magnification, we'll do magnification again, okay, in the next class. Okay, let's do a few questions. We have only 6 minutes left. Let's do a few questions. I'm sharing my screen. Let's do a few questions and use the chat window to answer. Okay. What is this? Are these the questions? Yes. Okay. Let's do these questions. Oh no, first let's do those. No. First, let's do the end of chapter questions. End of chapter questions. Where are those end of chapter questions? Yes, end of chapter questions, page number 15. Copy out the activities listed in the left-hand column, then match each with the correct example from the right-hand column. Growth. Growth. Now growth. Now look at the list on the right side. Escaping from danger, you have to match. Laying eggs, making new leaves, hearing a whistle, sweating, using up energy in a race, having a snack. So what, out of all these on the right hand side, which one would match growth? Using up energy in a race? No. Sweating? No. Growth. Growth is what? Increase in size, increase in the number of cells. Growth is the increase. Yes, Muhammad Nadeem Wali, it is making new leaves. Good job. Then respiration, let's move on. Respiration, what is it? Yes, using up energy in a race. Yes, Sidra. Respiration is the breakdown of glucose to give energy. So we're talking about energy here. So using up energy in a race. Excretion. Yes, excretion is sweating. What does the term excretion mean, by the way? Yes, excretion. Now I'm not able to unmute you guys because you guys don't get unmuted and I have only 3 minutes left. So let me just finish this question. Excretion is the removal of waste products from the body. Okay, removal of waste products from the body is excretion. So sweating, out of this list, sweating is the only answer where you can see the removal of waste product from the body. Feeding, having a snack. Good job. Sensitivity, escaping from danger, hearing a whistle. Sensitivity meaning to receive some signal from your surroundings, right? Movement, escaping from danger. Ahmad Tarar, please turn off your video. Reproduction, laying eggs. Yes, laying eggs. Okay, let's do question number 2 real quick. The 3 cells A, B, and C are not drawn to scale. Name the parts X, Y, and Z. Let me ask them. Name the parts X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z. Let me, sorry. Yes, name the parts X, Y, and Z. Rayan Musharraf. Yes, X is?
Mitochondria.
Mitochondria? Think again. Mitochondria are not green in color. X is green in color, right? And this is a, X is?
Chloroplast.
Good job. Okay. Anas, tell me what is Y? Yes. Yes, Anas?
Can you show the picture?
Okay. Do you have the book?
Yes, I found. Okay. Y is cell membrane.
Good job. Okay. Now, Urwa bin Masood. Tell me, what is Z?
Cell wall.
Very good. Now, part B. Give 2 reasons why cell A is a plant cell. Okay, Hisham Arshad. Hisham, Arshad, tell me, give two reasons why cell A is a plant cell. Yes, Hisham, you are unmuted. Okay, Afifa. Afifa? Yes, Afifa? You're
First reason,
yes?
the first reason is it has a vacuum, and then the second
Central
reason,
vacuole, central big vacuole. Say central big vacuole.
it has a central big vacuum,
Very good.
and it also has chloroplast in it.
Right. And it would be better if you cell wall and chloroplast. Okay. Cell wall and chloroplast are the best. And then, you know, like I'm giving you in order of importance. Number 1, cell wall. Number 2, chloroplast. In fact, cell wall, chloroplast, almost same. And then third, vacuum. Okay. Okay, part C. State one way in which the structure of each cell helps it to carry out its function. No, that you haven't done. That you haven't done. Okay, let's move on to question number 3. I'm still sharing my screen, right? Oh, okay. Question number 3. I am showing you question number 3. What are the structures A, B, and C in the diagram? Okay, those who don't have the book, please look at my screen. What are the structures A, B, and C in the diagram? Easy. And what is the job of C? Okay. Yes, Sidra is trying to answer.
So A is the nucleus.
Very good.
B are the organelles.
Okay, let them answer. Let me ask from Mariam Mujtaba. Mariam, tell me A, B, and C. Mariam. I'm trying to unmute you. Okay, Ammar. Ammar.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
A is nucleus, B is cytoplasm,
Yes.
and C is cell membranes.
Very good. Can C be cell wall? Can it be cell
No,
wall? Why?
no, because it's thin.
Yes, and it is thin, and this is an animal cell, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, draw and label 3 extra structures that would change this. Draw and label 3 extra structures that would change this animal cell into a typical plant cell. Ramin Waqas. Okay. Ramin Waqas. Yeah, whoever wants to leave can leave. I'm just doing these a few questions. This is the last question. Ramin Waqas, I cannot see you. Where are you? Ramin Waqas. Cannot see you at all. Okay. Okay, let me just. Okay, I saw you. Okay, Ramin, you are unmuted. Give me 3 extra structures that would convert this cell into a plant cell.
This animal cell will need a cell wall.
Very good.
It will need chloroplast.
Very good.
And a big vacuole, a whole big vacuole.
Good job. Good job. Okay. Okay, so now with this, I am ending this class. Okay, we will continue in the next biology class. Okay. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. And no, I don't give any homework. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.